Your name is Carter.
Who are you?
We're gonna blow up this room in 20 seconds.
내가 왜 CIA에 쫓기고 있는지 말해.
Okay, so August 5th was a overfilled weekend of new releases, huge movies, and all for the most part pretty decent. And interesting enough, I saw absolutely no marketing done for this movie, Carter. And I had never heard of it, and it wasn't until the 6th, the day after it came out, that I saw like a trailer for it on like some third trailer website thing. And it's like, what the hell is this? And I watched the trailer, it's just like, okay, I'll watch that. And so I did. And, well, you're probably wondering, what the hell does that acronym mean in the title of your video? What is a F.U.B.S.C.A.F.I.T.R.O.A? Well, a F.U.B.S.C.A.F.I.T.R.O.A movie is a fucked up, batshit crazy, adrenaline-fueled, insanity thrill ride overdose of action movie. That's what F.U.B.S.C.A.F.I.T.R.O.A means. And this movie is easily one of the most action movies ever made. I'm gonna get into it.
Trust me, if you wanna live.
Okay, so this movie, the premise is this guy wakes up, amnesia, like we haven't seen that before, and people start trying to kill him, and he needs to start following a voice in his ear. That is the general setup. I'm not going to try to explain more than that because, look, this is a batshit crazy movie. Now, it's not like David Lynch crazy or, like they do try to explain stuff, but what's batshit crazy about it is the fact that this movie, I promise you, this is how it was made. A group of people got into a room, and the rule was simple. Guys, I want everyone to come up with their 5 best ideas for an action scene. And then we're going to put them all into one movie. And like one guy said, hey, look, I had an idea of what if we had like a situation like Temple of Doom. You got one guy in the middle of a bridge. It's instead of it being like henchmen on both sides, it's zombies, and he has to keep the zombies at bay and do like a Temple of Doom style, like, sacrifice to cut the bridge to try and save him and the little kid he's with. And it's like, okay, we'll throw that in the movie. We weren't planning on zombies, but because we're putting that scene in the movie, we're gonna have zombies now. And so there's just all these crazy action scenes in this movie that just feel like they were just put in for the sake of putting in. They don't feel like they contribute to the story at all. And like, case in point, there's 2 motorcycle chases in this movie. There are 3 car chases. There is an airplane sequence. There is a nude bathhouse fight scene. There is all kinds of shootouts and fights and chases, and it's non-stop. And the trailer says this is a non-stop action movie. There's like maybe 3 times in the movie where the main character gets to take a deep breath and like kind of just relax for a moment. And you too, because it is just non-stop action. Like I said, this is the most action movie I probably have ever seen. And look, there are some scenes that are really awesome, but there are some scenes closer towards the end. It gets to a point I start laughing my ass off because they just throw physics and logic out the window at one point. I don't know exactly when, but at one point in the movie, somewhere in the middle mark, they just throw logic and physics out the window. It's just like, okay, fuck it. If it looks good, we're gonna do it. And so they have just all these insane helicopter CGI stunts at the end, and it's so unrealistic that it's funny and it's hilarious. And I was just having a blast seeing what new crazy thing they were going to do at the end of this movie. I mean, like, the only thing missing was a elephant comes charging out on the back of a tank. I mean, that's how batshit crazy this movie got. And like another funny thing is that at certain times in the movie they switch to English. I mean, yeah, it does add in to like, there's multiple people play, but like there are a few times that there's absolutely no reason why they would switch to English and then back. Admittedly, there was a couple of times that I thought, oh, this is so going to happen, and like they do something drastically different. Like there's this airplane sequence where the main character is entering on this plane, and it's like just so obvious he's going to fight everyone on this plane, isn't he? And no, he didn't. It was like very surprising. It's like they did so many predictable things in the action department that every now and then there was actually a surprise in the action department where it's like, really, that happened? Okay. So another interesting thing is that they really put a lot of pain and effort into trying to make this feel like a one-shot take movie. Now, obviously, it's not. Like most one-shot take scenes are not, and like most one-shot take movies are not. But they did do a pretty fun job. I mean, and it does keep you on the edge of your seat as the movie goes on, because it's like you start off at a hotel room and you end on a train heading into China. And so like it's just like this never ending non-stop, just bam, 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 bam. And so you have kind of like that 1917 thing going on. And I know a lot of people, they go, one-shot takes are so 90s. No one does them anymore because it's so stupid and no one likes them. They were just a fad like parkour. It's like, no, I like one-shot takes. It shows that the filmmakers wanted to do something special. It shows that they don't feel like this work they're working on is a piece of shit. It feels like they give a shit when they do a one-shot take scene or movie. And so yeah, I always enjoy one-shot take scenes in movies. Even if it's not the greatest, it's like, hey, you at least tried. And I did enjoy what they tried doing with F.U.B.S.C.A.F.I.T.R.O.A. Now, my one biggest criticism with this movie is too much shaky cam. I mean, good gosh, it was non-stop at times, and like they did some really interesting shots, and it's like the shots were ruined because the camera was shaking the entire time. And it's like, if you just didn't have the camera shaking, that would have been an amazing shot. But you know, that's what they did. And so honestly, I would not say this is an amazing movie. Objectively, it's not a great movie. But if you just want non-stop action for 2 hours, you wanna check this out, because it is the most action movie I have ever seen. And so yeah, that is pretty much about it. This was a fun time. If you're hoping for something more than a mindless action movie, look elsewhere. But this is a fun, mindless action movie, and it got so ridiculous to a point that I just started having fun laughing at some of the ridiculous nature of some of the action scenes in this. And so yeah, this is a fun, silly action movie of epic proportions, and sometimes that's all you need, really. And so yeah, that's been my review of Carter. And my name is Christopher Khan with 11 Hour Reviews, and that will be all.